Monsters creep from their lairs. Kraken entwining ships. Sasquatch slaying campers. Giant ants wrecking tanks. And one news bureau has you covered. Turn up the radio, gentle listeners. It's time for breaking news, fresh from the teletype. Welcome to
Monster Bureau!
We have breaking news, fresh from the teletype. Headline: Tragic Hodag attack near Rhinelander, Wisconsin leaves 3 dead. In a shocking turn of events, 3 campers are dead, and 1 is critically injured following a violent encounter with a rare creature in the Chequamegon-Nicolet National Forest. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is currently managing the scene, where a baby hodag and its enraged mother unleashed chaos on unsuspecting tourists. The incident unfolded when 4 young campers stumbled upon a baby hodag while exploring the dense woods. Intrigued by the baby monster, they took selfies with it. One young woman went a step further, attempting to ride the baby hodag for a TikTok video. This caused the baby hodag to cry out in pain, injured from the impromptu ride. Within moments, the mother hodag charged into the campsite. Descriptions of the beast are chilling. A large creature with glowing orange eyes, the head of an alligator, jagged teeth, long horns, and thick legs ending in huge claws. It has a ridge of spikes down its back. The mother hodag, driven by fury and the need to protect her cub, attacked with brutal force. This attack was swift and deadly. The mother hodag thrashed the campsite, killing 3 campers within minutes. The young woman who had injured the baby hodag survived, but she lost an arm and a foot. She's now in critical condition at Rhinelander General Hospital. A distressed hiker, alerted by the sounds of chaos, discovered the aftermath and contacted authorities. Emergency responders arrived quickly, finding the campsite in ruins and the injured camper barely clinging to life. A Wisconsin DNR spokesperson issued a stern warning about the dangers of interacting with wildlife.
This tragic event underscores the importance of respecting wildlife and maintaining a safe distance. Our thoughts are with the victims and their families during this difficult time.
Governor Tony Devers also addressed the incident, emphasizing the need for caution.
This is a heartbreaking incident. We must remember that wildlife, especially cryptids like the hodag, are not to be approached or provoked. Safety and respect for nature should always be our top priority.
The scientific community is now embroiled in a debate over the fate of the mother hodag and her injured baby. Some experts argue for euthanasia to prevent further attacks. Dr. Emily Roberts, a cryptozoologist, expressed concern.
Given the aggressive nature displayed in this incident, there is a legitimate concern that these hodags may now view humans as threats or prey. Euthanizing them may be necessary to ensure public safety.
Others call for compassion and alternative solutions. Wildlife biologist Dr. Michael Svenson advocates for relocation or the creation of a sanctuary.
These creatures are a rare and significant part of our natural heritage. Euthanizing them would be a great loss. We should consider alternative measures such as relocation or creating a sanctuary where they can live without posing a threat to humans.
Local residents are deeply shaken. The hodag, long a symbol for Rhinelander, has crossed from peaceful coexistence to a terrifying reality. The Rhinelander Chamber of Commerce, which celebrates the hodag as a local icon, expressed condolences and urged visitors to follow wildlife regulations. The DNR has cordoned off the attack area and is conducting a thorough investigation. Their priority is to ensure no further encounters occur and to manage the creatures appropriately. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of wildlife. It highlights the critical need for awareness and education on safely interacting with the natural world. The hodag, once a whimsical figure, now stands as a symbol of the very real dangers that can emerge from the deepest, darkest forests. And now we'll shift gears and interview local authorities, Dr. Emily Roberts and Dr. Michael Svenson. Good evening, gentle listeners. This is Jacob Rice with Monster Bureau, and tonight we have a special segment on the mysterious and deadly hodag. Joining me are two esteemed guests, Dr. Michael Svenson, a wildlife biologist specializing in cryptids, and Dr. Emily Roberts, a leading cryptozoologist. Thank you both for being here, and thanks to WMON, a Monster News Now station here in Rhinelander.
Thank you, Jacob. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Jacob. I'm happy to be part of this discussion.
Let's start with you, Dr. Svenson. The hodag has been a part of the Rhinelander identity for over a century. Can you give us some background on its origins?
Certainly. Residents first encountered a hodag in the 1890s, when Eugene Shepard, a timber cruiser, captured one in the nearby Northwoods. At first, everyone thought it was a hoax, until a dissection of the then smaller beast proved it was in fact a monster.
Fascinating. Dr. Roberts, how do you think the hodag evolved so quickly over the past 50 years to become the giant creature that caused today's tragedy?
That's a great question. We believe the hodag's rapid evolution is a result of insular gigantism, where isolated species evolve larger sizes due to the lack of predators and coupled with abundant resources. Additionally, human encroachment and changes in the ecosystem have likely accelerated their evolution, forcing them to adapt quickly to survive.
And to you, Dr. Svenson, could you explain how the concept of trophic cascade might relate to the hodag's behavior and impact on the local ecosystem?
Yes, a trophic cascade occurs when changes at the top of the food chain cause significant ripple effects throughout the ecosystem. With the declining wolf population and less interest from humans in hunting deer, the balance of the ecosystem has been disrupted. The hodag, an apex predator, steps into this void. Its presence and behavior can drastically alter the populations of prey species, vegetation, and even other predators. This can lead to a more aggressive nature as the hodag competes for dwindling resources.
And speaking of their aggressive nature, Dr. Roberts, how should the public protect themselves from potential hodag encounters?
The public should always maintain a safe distance from any wildlife, especially cryptids like the hodag. If you encounter one, do not approach or provoke it. Make noise to scare it off if necessary, and always report sightings to local authorities. Awareness and caution are key.
Moving on to the topic of conservation, Dr. Svenson, what is the current conservation status of the hodag?
The hodag is currently classified as an endangered cryptid. Due to its rarity and the recent tragic events, there's a heightened focus on its conservation. Protecting the hodag means preserving its habitat and ensuring that human activities don't threaten its survival.
Dr. Roberts, we've heard reports of hunters poaching hodags. How serious is this issue?
It's a significant problem, Jacob. Poaching not only threatens the hodag population, but also disrupts the ecosystem. Despite their fearsome reputation, hodags play a crucial role in their environment. We need stricter enforcement of laws to prevent poaching and protect these creatures.
Now, let's address the controversial topic. Dr. Roberts, You believe that some hodags should be euthanized. Can you explain your position?
Yes, Jacob. Given the recent attack, it's clear that certain hodags have become a direct threat to human safety. While I respect the importance of conservation, we must prioritize human lives. Euthanizing particularly aggressive hodags could prevent future tragedies.
Dr. Svenson, you have a very different view. Could you share your thoughts?
Absolutely. I believe euthanizing these creatures is a last resort. We should explore alternative measures like relocation to remote areas or creating sanctuaries. The hodag is a unique species that deserves our protection. Eliminating them could have unforeseen negative impacts on the ecosystem.
It seems we have a complex and multifaceted issue on our hands. Both of you have provided valuable insights into the mysterious world of the hodag. Before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts?
I urge the public to stay informed and support conservation efforts. The hodag, like all wildlife, needs our respect and protection.
While I agree with conservation principles, we must not ignore the risks. Safety should always come first, and sometimes difficult decisions are necessary.
Thank you, Dr. Svenson and Dr. Roberts, for sharing your expertise. This has been an enlightening discussion. And to our listeners, remember to respect wildlife, monsters, and to stay safe out there. Oh, excuse me.
This is the Oneida County Jail, and you've been granted access to do your interview, but you only have 15 minutes. We'll see you soon.
The Oneida County Jail Warden has approved my interview with Carol Turner, a notorious hodag poacher and smuggler. I've got to run.
Poaching has been a scourge on our community, Mr. Rice. It not only threatens our wildlife, but also our local economy. And then there are the monsters like the hodag.
I've heard stories, but I need to understand the reality. How often do poachers target hodags?
More often than you'd think. It's a dangerous and foolish pursuit. Let me take you to the interview room. You'll hear firsthand from one of the worst poachers in the world. Keep your questions focused, Mr. Rice. These people aren't always cooperative, and you only have a few minutes before we transfer her to the feds.
Understood, Warden. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for speaking with me today. Can you start by telling me your name and why you're in jail?
Name's Carol Turner. I'm here for poaching and for what happened to my partners.
Can you tell me about the night of the hodag attack?
It was a cold night, 5 years ago. We were deep in the woods, tracking a hodag. My partners, Mike and Eddie, were with me.
There it is, by the old oak tree. This is it, Carol. We'll be rich.
Keep it down. We don't want to spook it.
It's Georgie! Run!
I ran. I didn't look back. Mike and Letty didn't make it. That monster. It tore them apart.
I'm sorry. But what did you do after?
I wanted to turn myself in. But the fear, it kept me silent. Eventually, the law caught up with me.
Who's behind the hodag poaching? Where do the baby hodags go?
Wealthy collectors, mostly. People with too much money and not enough sense. The baby hodags are smuggled up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and then put on cargo ships to South America. It's a lucrative black market,
Do you regret it?
Every day. Mike and Eddie's faces. They haunt me. I'm done with this life. I want to make things right, and that's why I'm testifying. I'm the star witness in the federal case against the smuggling ring.
Thank you for sharing your story, Carol. I hope your testimony helps end this cruel trade.
It will. It has to.
How did it go?
It was enlightening. She's deeply remorseful. Her testimony will be crucial for the government's case against the Hodag smuggling ring.
Let's hope it makes a difference.
And so, I left the Oneida County Jail, carrying with me the weight of a story both tragic and hopeful. In the fight against poaching and the protection of our endangered cryptids, every voice, even one behind bars, can be a beacon of change. Thanks for listening to this episode of Monster Bureau. If you like this podcast, please rate, review, subscribe, share, and tell your friends about it. It really helps. Soon, we'll have a special report about the cure for lycanthropy. Until then, take care and be on the lookout for monsters.